and it's a work in progress. But no, I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy at the minute.
I think now we're all more willing to give him the time that he needs. I think a couple of weeks ago we were all like, "What the fuck? What's going on?" But I think now seeing the sort of green shoots, if you want to use a cliche, we're all kind of going like, "Oh, I think that this could all come together very, very soon," and it looks like it is coming together. You know.
Well, Joe, he's no chopping and changing the team like he was, which is a good thing for a start. You know, we're getting consistency selection. Second of all, Guidetti's looking like finally the replacement for Gary Hooper that we've been striving for since Gary Hooper left. You know, he's scored in varieties of goals now with the free kick the weekend, fantastic. Skepovic we've talked about. Wakaso is starting to look like a wee bit of a player. You know what I mean? He's got pace, he gets in a bit. Scott Brown's back to his best. It's good to see him having a go at that prick Hamill on Sunday, things like that. And so you've got to, I think that if you're willing to criticise constructively or otherwise what Dyler's fault's been or what the team's fault's been, then you have to give him credit for things that he's started doing. And one of the things is he's clearly looked at it and said, right, I kind of think this is my team now. This is our system, and I'll kind of go with it. And whatever we think, we've won the last 3 games. So the reality has to be that, you know, if we can keep that going, you know, in the next couple of weeks, then we're going to see, I mean, you know, we're not playing in a strong league. We've had a crap start, and there we are, basically. You know, we could win the next couple of weeks, we'll be top of the league again.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can't be overly critical.
No. And don't underestimate the happiness that I felt when I took my seat on Sunday to see he was playing 2 up front. You know, because I just thought he had this rigid thing that he would never even consider it. And then hopefully we've got a partnership now with Guidetti and Skepovic, although we won't be able to play in Europe together for a while. But hopefully we've got a partnership with they two that could produce all sorts of fruits for us, because I'm very, very hopeful, because I think we've got 2 strikers up there that can both put the ball in the net, and they're both players.
Yeah.
So,
Guidetti could have had a hat-trick easily on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I know. The one he's hit the post, and then the one that it was him that hit the post, and then the one he's rifled, and the guy's flung himself at it, and Guidetti's hit it straight for him. I think, was it Guidetti that the keeper had the quality save?
In the first half,
in the first half, put it by the post.
I thought that was going in. I was out of a seat already. I was like,
great free kick.
And it was great though. It was great because I'd seen Virgil van Dijk on the wall, and I was like, I sense something here, and he just moved out of the way, and that was the gap Guidetti put it into.
Yeah.
And then it went, you know, it was great. So, Astra game, I mean, wasn't the greatest game in the world, but a win's a win, and things are looking up. I think we're on the incline now. We're on the ascent to better football, which is what we were kind of crying out for. So, all good. So then we go to another rain-soaked day yesterday against Kilmarnock. 2-0 win. Again, some of the passing is still a bit rough. You know what I mean? There's not we're not looking for the tiki-taka football of Barcelona, but some of the passing that could just be it seems stupidly astray. You know what I mean? Like balls being passed into empty spaces, passed behind guys. But then again, I suppose that's part of the curve of getting this team to jail, I suppose.
I mean, I actually give Kilmarnock a wee bit credit until the sending off, as they came in and actually knocked the ball about a wee bit, which hasn't been like Kilmarnock teams over the years. They also got a pretty decent bloody away support, which hasn't been like with them either.
Biggest I've seen for many a year.
Aye. Yep. And I think personally that one of our failings at the minute is McGregor. I don't think McGregor's quick enough when he's on possession to get the style of play that Ronnie Deila wants. I've sat behind Ronnie Deila a couple of times in European games and stuff this season to hear all he keeps saying constantly is step it up, quicker. And every time McGregor's getting the ball in out, he's just taking that wee bit of time and it's kind of, you know, and that's not what Deila's wanting, because as you see, with 2 strikers here, they're just wanting chances after chances. But there was a definite, I know the guy gets sent off Eremenko, it's a clear sending off, he's pulled him back, he's not got any complaints, the manager never had any complaints, nothing like that. You see the confidence in the team once the goal goes in. And, you know, football is a massive confidence game, everybody knows that. You start knocking the ball about a wee bit better. Guys, the chances have been second half chances, hitting the post and all that kind of thing. Goalies are making great saves and that. Another day you could have 5 or 6. And that, to me, that was going to be a sticky game on Sunday. You know, conditions were horrendous. You know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it was like the end of the fucking world. pissing the rain, windy, this, that, and next thing. You've just come off of a European game. They've had all the time in the world to prepare. And, all right, we've got the break with the 10 men thing, but still, again, it's like one of the games you could easily have lost, and we did lose against Hamilton 2-3 weeks ago. So, again, winning the game, it's just about winning these games. It's all about baby steps now, you know what I mean? It's about just continuing to gather momentum, gather pace. And Dyla, I like the fact that he set a target of being top for Christmas. I think it'll be top long before Christmas, to be honest. But these are the small targets you need. And I also like the fact, I know coming earlier, is that he's targeted the Partick Thistle game as a must-win game. Whereas previously, perhaps, that might have been one where they looked at it and said, maybe we'll drop him, and then we end up getting fucked out. We've got to keep building that momentum, because the momentum, when it starts at Celtic Football Club, the fans get behind it, and it becomes really, really hard to knock it out of stride.
Yeah, I would agree, and as much as I don't want to put it down on young McGregor, I kind of agree with you, Paul, albeit I'm sure it was him that put the through ball for Skepovic when it got brought down.
It was, aye.
Aye, it was a cracking wee ball he put through to him, but his decision making sometimes a wee bit off, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, because he pops up the goals, he doesn't hide. He put a couple of crosses in with his right foot, to be honest with you, that were actually excellent, and I know he's mostly left-footed, but I like him, and I don't know, I'm a bit undecided, but I'm going to definitely give him the benefit of the doubt, because he doesn't hide when he gets in there, but I kind of agree with you that maybe that style of football, I don't know, he's maybe struggling, but he's young, but I don't, certainly, he's got something about him, he's a better player, but out of the full team, he would kind of be maybe a wee bit of the weak link. I don't know, but but no, I love the partnership with Skepovic and Guidetti. I think that's going to make it something special. And I just wanted Johansson and Brown to put their mark in the game. And I just want them to. You've got Wakaso and McGregor. You're kind of no playing with two anchored midfielders. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So it's not giving Johansson the freedom, because when you've got Wakaso and McGregor, the two of them are sort of bombing up each wing and stuff like that. So then maybe, I don't know, you could maybe lose the midfield battle. But one thing I would say, when I get back in the car, that Alan Johnson, is he turning into the new Jim Jeffries with his after-match press conference? Not one bit of credit did they give Celtic. And it was I thought we were the better team, and I thought I'm really proud of my players. And there was a chance missed for us, and as if he was coming expecting to beat us. Maybe he was, and fair enough. But at the end of the day, they had a couple of shots. They had quite a bit of possession at the start. They had a couple of shots. The one that Craig Gordon made the Hollywood save, where I think it was a lot easier than it made look.
Oh, it was
aye, but we were never really under much pressure. There could have been a foul on the guy. I don't know. There's one in the first half. The guy kind of get fouled at the edge of the box. It wasn't in the box. It looked a foul from where I was sitting, but they didn't really complain much about it. Oh. And I think that's where we went up the park and the boy gets sent off. It might have been.
How can you say how can anybody say they're the better team? Going, the better team apart from the fact we had our captain fucking sent off for bringing down a man on the edge of the box, like.
Aye, and it's like it was. I mean, at the end of the day, once the guy gets sent off as well, they didn't put any emphasis on attacking whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And it was a killer when we scored for the free kick. They've just the man sent off, and we've sunk the free kick. So that's the goal that they've tried to save with getting sent off with Pascal going off. We'll end up scoring it, and as you say, the team settled down a bit, and they made loads of chances. And after the game, there's a lot of people moaning about how bad Celtic were. And actually, Joe, you've not been to many games lately, so but did you enjoy the game, or did you think it was a total dirge?
Oh, I enjoyed the game. I mean, it was. I'd say if it was at a percentage, I'd say 70-30. I really enjoyed it. 30% of it, I was kind of going like, Jesus, the ball's going astray. Some of Wakaso's crossing was brutal. Apart from the cross he sent in for Shevovic's goal, which is good cross.
Aye. But that was a great finish, by the way, for Skepovic.
I thought it was a great finish. Yeah.
Aye.
I mean, it was control. He knew what he was doing.
And then after it, he's tried that wee chip, and that's a bit of confidence it would make you try that. He's a bit unlucky. But somebody that's not got an eye for goal and they're playing low in confidence, they're not really going to try that. And I think when he gets substituted as well, the full crowd got up off their chair, and he sort of milked it a wee bit. But I think that's good for him as well. I think Dyla done a masterstroke there, putting Griffiths on, taking Skepovic off because he's ran about obviously the Thursday night, and I think it was good, and the crowd responded to it. You know, so I'm feeling a hell of a lot more positive than I was a few weeks. I feel a bit stupid about Slayton Dialer, to be honest with you, and I'm glad I feel a bit stupid. Do you know what I mean? I'm not frightened to say it, and I really hope the guy succeeds.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, like, at least we're big enough to admit, like, when we're daft, which is 99% of the time. You know what I mean? But I'm delighted for the guy. You know what I mean? I'm delighted that things are kind of looking up for him, you know. And it's great, though. It's not like he's coming out. Well, obviously, no manager would come out and go, like, right, get it fucking up you. He's just still the same. He obviously has a plan, and he's going to stick to it. And it seems to be paying off. So, I mean, keep it going. I just can't keep it going, you know.
So what about your day then, Joe, with the Kano kids?
It was alright. No, well, it was a long day. It wasn't as long as Harper's day, so obviously. But no, man, it was absolutely fantastic. It was great to see yourself, great to see all the lads. But I mean, it was a 24-hour day. I mean, like I left my bed at 2:00 on Sunday morning. I didn't get back into it until 2:00 this morning.
Long day, man.
Had to sleep in the bed.
So obviously, I mean, a lot of work get done behind the scenes with your good self and the guys for the Cable Foundation and Julie, but the guys for the Neve Podrick Celtic Supporters Club, special thanks must go to them.
Absolutely, the Cormac and Kieran and the guys in the Neve Podrick CSC, because without them there would have been no travel for us. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know anything about organising buses, you know. So Kieran and Cormac sorted it out for us. We got a coach from Ringsend. They organised like the coach took off from where the kids were in Ringsend. Picked them more of them up on Pierce Street, and then went up to Cattlebrew Street, picked up their members, and then on to Belfast, switched coaches in Belfast, then on to the boat. And it was great. It was just great to see the kids getting on, because they were all hyped. I mean, it was 4:00 in the morning, you know what I mean? And their parents get up and bring them down to the bus, and they were all buzzing getting on, you know what I mean? It was great. It was great to see. And then, you know, we got onto the boat. And the thing is, like, I mean, obviously, because, like, there's not as many people travelling on buses, especially from Ireland. I mean, I think we probably would have been possibly the only coach on the bus.
On the boat?
Yeah, on the boat, sorry. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, the rest of it was all kind of minibuses and cars, you know. We would have been the only coach. Like, I think so now. I wasn't really looking around, but from what I've seen, kind of in the queue getting onto the boat, we were the only coach. And we got onto the boat, and of course, there's the arcades. One young lad ran up to me. Half an hour into the ferry taking off, and he goes, "I just put £38 into the arcade machines." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah. What?
He was very proud of himself, like, you know,
one of the young kids.
He's just mad. His man gave him £40 right? And he goes, he just pumped 38 of it into the arcades. He £2. And he only been on the boat for a half an hour. And the rest of the days running around going like, "I haven't got any money left." I was like, "Well, I'm not fucking surprised, son." He fucking pumped it on the arcades. And then about an hour into the ferry, it turned into a bit of a puke pandemic. So it did. Because you know what kids are like? They're stuffing themselves full of sweets and crisps and juice and coke. And a lot of these kids have never been on a boat before, like. And I just remember a young lad come up to me and he was green. He goes, "I just got sick on the stairs." So I walked up and there was this young fella who works for Stena Line on his hands and knees scrubbing vomit out of a carpet. I was like, "Oh, you poor bastard." And then I went down onto the deck and there were several green looking kids out there puking, and it was funny, but it was like, Jesus, poor kids. So then we got there. We got the Cairn Ryan. We got on the bus. And then the puking escalated to even worse levels. And luckily enough, Cormac and myself and a few other people had grabbed a load of sick bags off the boat. And by the time we got to Glasgow, there was a huge, big, clear plastic bag just full of sick bags. And there was a serious funk on the bus. But I mean, none of that dampened the spirits of any of the kids. I mean, the kids were going to be getting sick. And then 5 minutes later, down in, you know, Worcester sauce crisps and tins of Coke. You know
they were buzzing with Anekis, you know, outside the front of the stadium. It was brilliant to see them, you know, really, really good.
It was brilliant. And the weather didn't dampen their spirits either. I mean, like, the thing I was looking forward to the most is when they got to Celtic Park, because none of them had ever seen it before. And when we kind of got within sort of, you know, visible distance, that was all you could hear them on the bus going, "Oh man, that's brilliant, that's deadly, that's great, fantastic," you know. And they were all having a super time, you know. And then we got up and The thing about the Kano is, I mean, obviously, we talk about the Kano on the show. We've had Joe on, and we've been at the dinner dance, and you're involved, Jason.